Powder VR is just another fine example of why virtual reality gaming is here to stay. Who would have thought back when SSX Tricky and 1080 snowboarding were in every gamer's collection that 20 years later we'll be ripping down the mountain virtually? Enter Powder VR, a realistic snowboarding and skiing game that has nailed the physics of the two extreme sports. Gameplay is absolutely king here. They absolutely nail the physics, and let me show you with some gameplay. There's a good tutorial on both sports before you jump into the world tour. It doesn't teach you everything, only the basics. I really wish there was some optional tutorials with freestyling tricks, since I had absolutely no idea what to do in the freestyle mode other than turn my hips left and right. So even if you know how to ski or snowboard in real life, this game does take a little getting used to. Let me explain. For instance, rather than shifting your weight to your toes or your heels to turn or to carve through the snow, you simply have to adjust your arm position. As you can see here, I'm going to move my arm left or right while I'm snowboarding. This determines where my board's going to be. Now granted, even though this is how you control the board, I actually do move my feet forward or backwards depending on where I'm going, just because I snowboard in real life, so it's a bit of muscle memory and it does add to the immersion. And it's a similar technique with skiing, and it works well once you get used to it. It is odd though, when you squat down, you don't actually pick up speed. In fact, that actually triggers a flip. Now I know what you're thinking, it does seem a little bit weird I have to move my arm left to right just to try and control the board or to control the ski. But trust me on this one, it does feel really good. Powder VR actually would benefit with some sort of 3D snowboarding accessory, something that you can control with your legs. Well, they've actually announced support with 3D Rudder, which is a foot-powered motion controller, and it will work perfectly with this game if you could use it to carve rather than unnaturally using your arms. Now this title is in early access, so it's a little rough around the edges. Actually, wait, it's pretty rough around the edges. The presentation is low quality, even on high settings, very blurry and pretty boring. Some mountain runs don't even have anything interesting going on. The HUD that you can see clearly on the screen isn't clear in the VR headset, and in fact it's chopped off on the sides. And the load times, oh boy, the load times can be so long depending on the run. I've only noticed this in the World Tour mode. It seems like Quick Race it does load faster, but I'm unsure why. I also witnessed crashing and choppiness, and I had to restart the game a couple of times just to get it to run. But in the end of the day, there is a lot to improve, but it is early access, so I can't nitpick it too much. Although I think that it's far from being released to the general public as a full game or a full package just yet. Despite only being in early access, the game features a World Tour mode consisting of 7 different events for each mountain. There's races, freestyle events, and the classic checkpoint runs. There's also a quick race option, which lets you hop onto any run, and an explore mode, which actually lets you wind kite the mountains. Now the build that I have doesn't actually have the wind kite feature, but I feel like this feature would benefit with better visuals, but unfortunately we just don't have that right now. With all that said, overall the game is really promising. Okay, there's some technical glitches, the presentation style isn't perfect just by any stretch of the imagination, but you never know, it might get there on full release. The key thing to note here is that the gameplay is fantastic. It really does capture the adrenaline rushing down those mountains. The game is available on Steam Early Access if you want to give it a go. I'm sure the extreme sports diehards will greatly appreciate the attention to detail to the physics. So I hope you enjoyed that first look of the early access version of Powder VR. If you like what you've seen, let me know in the comments below if you'll be picking that one up. And please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos just like this. There's even a Patreon link in the description below if you want to support me and the channel. My name is Dan, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.